guys, this is my review for night 2 of WrestleMania 38. And man, this was a fantastic show. From top to bottom, I enjoyed all the matches. There wasn't a bad match, and I was invested the whole show. There wasn't any point in this show, throughout the show, where I got distracted, I did something else. No, I was invested, like I said, the whole show. And I would never think in 2022 we'd get a match from Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania in 2022. I would have never thought of it, but it happened. We got a match from Vince McMahon tonight, and a match from Stone Cold Steve Austin last night. His first match in 19 years. So, like I said, fantastic show. I'm going to go through it from top to bottom, give you my review, my opinions. Man, I'm hyped. This was good. I don't know when the last WrestleMania was that I came off feeling hyped. I can't think of when it was. But let's get through this WrestleMania. So, the night started with Triple H. He came out, big pop, the crowd went nuts. He came out, he did the thing, his entrance with the water, he spit it out. The crowd went nuts. He grabbed the mic, and I didn't even see this. At one point, he grabbed his boots. I don't know where he got it from, but he grabbed his boots and put it in the middle of the ring. But he grabbed the mic and he said, "Welcome to WrestleMania." And like I said, dropped his boots. And that's it. Yeah, that was his send-off. As you know, or you don't know, Triple H recently retired like 2 weeks ago due to a medical issue he had with his heart. He was this close from dying, so he has what do you call it, a defibrillator in his chest, so he can't wrestle anymore. So he came out, opened the show, dropped his boots. That's it. Good way to open the show with Triple H. The first match was the Raw Tag Team Triple Threat. It was RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. This was a fun opener. This was a hot match, fast-paced. This was fun. So, like I said, it was a hot opener. It started fast, straight out the gate. Montez Ford dived over the turnbuckle onto, I think it was RK Bro and Alpha Academy. We had Chad Gable going up to the top and doing a moonsault outside onto the pile of superstars. That was a clean moonsault. It was good. Riddle took a beating for a while in this match. Orton made a hot tag. He did his power slam off the ropes. He gave a backdrop to, I think it was Gable, and who did he give it to? It was Gable, and I think the other Street Profit. Backdrop onto the table. He went into the ring. Him and Riddle gave, I think, the Street Profits Profits, they hit double moves. The Street Profits hit, I forgot, what double move did they hit? I should have wrote it down. Oh, they hit a blockbuster. That's what they hit. And Gable hit like, kind of like a doomsday. I think he hit. So they hit double moves. And then, later on in the match, Montez Ford went up for the splash, but Riddle came out of nowhere, jumped onto the ropes, and hit a springboard RKO onto Ford. And then you see Jack Gable on the other rope. He went for like a crossbody, and as he's coming down, Orton delivers an RKO to retain the titles. Fun opener, fast-paced, excellent. Two great RKO spots to end the match. So, after the match, we had RK Bro and the Street Profits in the ring. They have solo cups and they're getting ready to celebrate. Jack Gable comes in the ring. Before he comes in the ring, they had Gable Stevenson in the crowd. So, Street Profits get the solo cups, give it to RK Bro. RK Bro calls Stevenson into the ring. They pour him a cup. Jack Gable slaps the cup out of Stevenson's hand. And everybody just exits the ring. They clear the ring. They're like, I don't want no part of this. You're on your own, Chad. So, Chad's bad mouthing Gable. Stevenson takes off his shirt. He's playing to the crowd. And he gives Jack Gable a suplex. Or, a side suplex to end the segment. He goes outside and he drinks. He finishes the celebration with RK Bro and the Street Profits. And I'm just realizing it's Gable versus Gable. Jack Gable, Gable Stevenson. I think that's gonna be his first program. And I wouldn't be shocked. I'm having a stroke. I wouldn't be shocked if Stevenson comes on Raw tomorrow night. And I can't wait for tomorrow night. The night after Raw, it's gonna be great. So next we have Bobby Lashley versus Omos, and this match was short, and I feel like if they put this on in any other, place in the card, it would have been a little boring, but their best bet was to put this on second. So, they come out, almost dominated most of the match. Lashley tried to, get the upper hand, but almost overpowered him. He was slamming him, throwing him into the turnbuckle. He just outpowered Lashley. So, Lashley went to the top at one point after being dumped out of the ring. He goes to the top and he tries to jump off, but almost catches him and gives him like a military slam, 10 feet down. Almost picks him up. He puts Lashley in the bear hug, and this was a nasty spot. So he's got Lashley in the bear hug, and he runs Omos he runs into the post. He runs Bobby into the post. And as they're going into the post, Lashley, his back goes back. And his neck, or the back of his head, snaps back into the turnbuckle. That looked nasty. So, Omos picks him back up, puts Lashley back in the bear hug. Eventually, Bobby fights out. He gives Omos a suplex and 2 spears for the win. So, Bobby picks up the win. Like I said, short match, like it had to be, and I was surprised. I don't remember if I picked Bobby to win in my predictions, but I thought for sure that Omos was gonna win, because they've been building him up as a giant, and now it's like, what do you do with the guy that Bobby beat him? What do you do? I don't know. Next we have probably the funnest match of the night. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. This was, I texted this to Griddy, this was where it felt like an old school hardcore match. We saw everything from trash cans to stop signs to the tables. We saw, what do you call those things? What do you call it? The canes that you need help, looking. Oh, crutch. We saw crutches. To me, this felt like an old school hardcore match. So, Sami Zayn comes out, Knoxville comes out, dressed stupid. I think he dressed like this for a Royal Rumble. He was wearing red and white. I guess he didn't get the memo that tonight's colors were red and blue. Not red and blue, blue and white. But he was dressed in red and white. He had a cape. He had goggles. He looked ridiculous. So, the bell starts. Sami hits the haluva kick straight out the gate. Nice haluva kick. Hits Knoxville right in the face. And then he goes for the cover, but Knoxville kicks out. He throws Knoxville to the outside, and Knoxville goes for weapons. He gets, like I said, the crutch, he gets stop signs, he gets the garbage cans, he gets baking pans. So he brings all the weapons into the ring, and Sami gets the upper hand and just beats Knoxville all over the place. He beat this guy with the pan, he beat this guy with the crutch, he tossed him to the outside, he threw him into the barricade, and he threw him in ringside. There's the crew, the Jackass crew. You had Jasper, you had, I forget their names, but you had 3 members of the Jackass crew at ringside, and Sami was taunting him. So Sami turns around and Johnny sprays him with the fire, what do you call it, extinguisher. Fire extinguisher. So Sami rolls back into the ring. Knoxville, he brings out, no, he don't bring it out. They go back into the ring. There was so much going on in this match. They go back in the ring. Sami grabs the trash can legs, and he, like a monkey, he just into his head. So he beats Knoxville up some more. Sami goes outside, he goes under the ring, and he grabs a table filled with mousetraps. He sets that up, and he gets back in the ring and just beats on Knoxville some more. Because Johnny Knoxville took a beating in this match. Sami Zayn gave him a beating. So he sets up a table, Sami, in the corner, and he gives Knoxville an exploder suplex through the table. This motherfucker took an exploder through the table. Hats off to Johnny Knoxville. So he's beating on Knoxville. All of a sudden, Party Boy comes out. I forget his other name that they called him, but Party Boy comes out. Sami turns around, he sees him, and he starts stripping. He takes off his clothes. And Sami, he don't believe that he's seen. So he gives Party Boy the Hoover kick. And he kicks him outside. He kicks him under the ring. All of a sudden, V-Man pops out from under the ring. And he got a huge pop. The crowd loved V-Man. So V-Man is kicking Sami's ass around the ring, throws him back in, gives him a body slam. It was great. But eventually, before that, he goes outside and pulls one of the stunts from Jackass. It was like a leg attached to some contraption. This will come into play later. But V-Man gets the stunt from under the ring, gets back in the ring, and gets a Hoover kick from Sami. And then Sami goes on top to do some move, and we see Johnny Knoxville with a button in his hand. So he presses the button, and pyro goes off on the turnbuckle. So pyro goes off, Sami falls off the turnbuckle, and he sits in the turnbuckle. V-Man gives Johnny a bag, and in the bag is a bowling ball. Old school bowling ball. Shout out to Al Snow and Mick Foley. But he gets a bowling ball, rolls it into Sami's nuts. And I'll say this later. He rolls it into his nuts, and then Sami gets up, and this is where the contraption comes into play. Sami gets in front of this contraption, and Johnny pulls the lever, or V-Man pulls the lever, and the leg kicks Sami in the nuts. And then I wrote this on Twitter. I feel sorry for Sami's nuts, because he took so many shots you wouldn't believe. So Johnny goes back to the bag that he pulled the bowling ball out of, and he grabs the, what do you call it? What is that that thing to shock you think. I forget what they call it. But he grabs a cattle prod. It was a mini version of that. So Sami sees this. He goes outside of the ring. Johnny chases Sami around the ring. All of a sudden, straight from Jackass, the giant hand was set up behind the barricade. Sami's running, and he runs into the hand. This match was nuts. All stunts. It was nuts. So then I think Sami took back the upper hand for a minute. He goes back up to the ropes again. But you would think he learned his lesson the first time. No. So he goes back up to the ropes, and Johnny gets tongs, cooking tongs, and he grabs Sami's nuts again. So he grabs his nuts from the turnbuckle, the ropes, and here's where the table with the mousetraps comes into play on the outside. So Johnny takes Sami with the tongs attached to his nuts and throws him from the turnbuckle to the outside through the table filled with mousetraps. Unbelievable. Sami Zayn is great. That's all. He's awesome. So the cast of Jackass gather. They come out from the barricade. Party Boy comes out, gets back up. Mcmahon gets back up. And again, they grab another prop from Jackass. They go under the ring. They grab a giant mousetrap. Put it into the ring. Johnny sets up the mousetrap. I think he body slammed Sami onto the mousetrap. And he hooked, he unleashed the mousetrap, and Sami Zayn got stuck like a mouse, and Johnny pinned him for the 3 count. This match was ridiculous. It was fun. They over-delivered what I thought this was gonna be. Props to Johnny Knoxville for getting his ass kicked, taking those bumps, and props to Sami for taking those bumps. This was great. This was great. So, I need to calm down. So, next we have the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles. We got Zelina Vega, Carmella, Naomi, Sasha Banks, who came out in a Lambo. We have Shayna Baszler, Natalya, and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, who they came out as Catwoman and I guess Batman. I think Rhea was going for. I'm saying Batman because when she took off the mask, there was black eyeliner under the mask like Robert Pattinson's Batman. So I'm gonna say, Batman and Catwoman. But like I said, Sasha came out in the Lambo. Liv came out. Liv and Rhea came out as Batman, Catwoman. During the entrances, Corey Graves, he made me laugh. He said, Byron is the type of person that takes his sister to the prom. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but Corey is a savage to Byron. Oh man, Corey. So, straight out the gate, Sasha and Liv hit dives. Sasha went this way, Liv went this way, and they hit dives to the piles of women on the outside. Liv Morgan got worked on for a little while by Natty, Shayna. I think it was it Zelina and Carmella who hit a double heat defeat? Or Liv and Rhea? I should have wrote this down. Somebody hit a double heat defeat. There was 2 Tower of Doom spots. So there was women set up on each corner, and then I believe it was Rhea and Shayna at the bottom of each pile, and they did a power bomb to the women on the turnbuckle. So that looked pretty cool. Always, this spot is in every multi-women match. Always the Tower of Doom. Either that or the suplex spot. Each woman takes a neck and they suplex each other in the middle of the ring. But every multi-women match, there's one of those spots. So, Rhea and Liv hit an assisted riptide for the 2 count. Sasha hit a frog splash, which looked clean. And then, eventually, they hit a rolling face buster. Naomi got, I think it was Liv Morgan or Carmella up for a face buster, like she held her up in the air, and Sasha rolled and tumbled, and they drove, I think it was Carmella's face into the mat for the 3 count. So your new women's champions, Sasha and Naomi. And this was Sasha Banks' first WrestleMania win, which I didn't know. I was kind of shocked to find out, but it made sense. Next, if I didn't say it, that was a pretty good match. It was a fun women's tag match. And I apologize, in my predictions, I said it would be a clusterfuck. It was a decent match. It was fun. Next, we have Edge versus AJ Styles. And this was a pretty good match. It got slow to me at one point, but it was still pretty good. Styles, when he came out, he was bleeding from the side of his face. I don't know why, but Styles came out bloody. Edge came out on a chair. He rose up through fire, and he had his new theme song. I said this to Griddy. The theme song, it's not bad, and darker entrance, but it's still weird seeing him without metalingus. You know what I mean? So, those were the entrances. It was hot out the gate. Styles hit a high angle drop kick that looked clean. They're reversing each other's moves. It reminded me of Bianca and Becky last night. You know, both of them knew that each other wanted to do. So they reversed each other's moves. Styles went for a 450, a springboard 450, and Edge got the knees up. And this is where the match kind of slowed down. Edge worked on Styles, he worked on the ribs, he worked on the shoulder. Styles came back a little bit, he got some offense, but ultimately it was Edge that got most of the offense. Styles hit a suplex into the turnbuckle. Styles hit a torture rack into like a spinning slam. He went for it again, but he couldn't do it because of his shoulder. They traded submissions. Edge hit the, what do you call it? The electric chair. You know, then he puts him up on his shoulders and he does the face buster. Styles hit a suplex on Edge on the apron. The hardest part of the ring, that looked pretty good. And then Styles went up and finally hit the 450 for a 2 count. So they did a combination. Styles went for the phenomenal forearm. Edge ducked. He went for the spear. Styles moved out of the way and caught Edge in the Styles clash for 2. So AJ goes to the ropes, and out of nowhere, you see Damian Priest standing there. So Styles sees Priest, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And then he turns back, goes for the forearm, and Edge catches Styles with a spear for the 3 count. Sorry I keep cutting, my dog keeps making noise. Like I was saying, Styles comes off for the forearm, Edge catches him in the spear for the win. And it was a good match. Like I said, it was good. It got a little slow, but ultimately it was good. So Priest gets in the ring. They look at each other, Edge and Priest, and I don't know where they go from here. Griddy says the Brood 2.0, technically the 3.0, because you had the Hardys first, and then Edge and Christian. So this would be 3.0, but I don't know. Next, they announced the location for WrestleMania 39. It's in LA on April 2nd. They announced the attendance. They said 77,453. That's what they said. But on the graphic, it said 78,453. So somebody fucked that up. I don't know who, but they botched it. warm up. My bad. I think they announced, was it 74,000? Either way, they boxed it. They boxed it. Next we have the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Now, these guys got their match cut last night for a time, so I'm happy they got their Mania match. It didn't go long, but they got their match. So, the New Day came out, they had Big E inspired gear. They came out in singlets like Big E has, and they said on commentary that the singlets represented Big E's world title ring. So that was pretty cool. I don't remember if I said it, but they got like 2 minutes. This match got Kofi hit a Trouble in Paradise for 2 straight out the gate. Butch Pete Dunne was running around, distracting the referee. Sheamus hit bro kicks. He hit 2 of them, and Ridge Holland hit his slamming finisher for the win. So, this didn't go long. Like I said, 2 minutes, but I'm happy they got their match. That's all that counts. Next, we had a Hall of Fame segment like last night, but nobody came out. The only person that came out was The Undertaker. So, Undertaker came out, he went to this side, raised his hand, that side, raised his hand, went to the middle, turned around, raised his hand, and went to the back. WWE knows how to waste time. Between the video packages and this, you could tell they were wasting time. But it's whatever. You knew it was coming. So the next match was Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. Vince McMahon came out to introduce Austin Theory, and he came out and he power walked down the ring. Remember that for later. He power walked all the way down the ramp to the ring. So he introduced Austin Theory. Pat McAfee came out with the cheerleaders, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. He punted a football, I think a Colts football, into the crowd. Somebody caught it. The match starts. He hit a spinning elbow straight out the gate, which looked pretty cool. He hit a Hurricane Rana, which it looked clean. Then he threw Austin Theory outside. He put on the headset, got on commentary. He started trash talking Austin Theory, and he was beating him on commentary. He threw Theory back into the ring. He went up. He came off the top for a swanton, but he missed. It looked good, but he missed. So, Austin Theory took control. He was slapping him around, talking trash. He picked McAfee up for his eight-town down finish, and Pat McAfee rolled him up 4-3. So Pat McAfee wins. Fun match, gets his mania moment, and the crowd went nuts. The whole match, they were behind Pat McAfee, gave them nuts. Pat was over. Apologies again for the cuts. My dog keeps making noise. What can you do? So, after the match, Austin Theory's outside, Pat McAfee in the ring, he's taunting him, and you see Vince McMahon, he wasn't on commentary, but he was sitting at the commentators table. So, we see Vince go around the ring to the Austin Theory, and Pat McAfee is taunting Vince. So Vince goes to take off his blazer, and then he puts it back on. He's like, no, we're not doing this. Then he goes to leave. He turns around, takes off his coat, and the crowd goes nuts. So he takes off his coat, takes off his shirt, and he's got a black tank top underneath. He gets in the ring, and the referee rings the bell. They're actually getting a match like Vince McMahon in 2022. So the bell rings, and this wasn't a great match. Vince basically slapped around Pat, and Pat sold for Vince. He slapped him around, threw him into the post. This wasn't great. Every time every time Pat took the upper hand, Theory would interfere behind the ref's back, and Vince would get the upper hand back. So, this didn't go long. It went about 3 minutes. Vince McMahon took a football, a Cowboys football, and he kicked the football, into Pat's ribs. And he covers him 4-3. Now that wasn't the most exciting finish, but what can you do? We saw Vince McMahon in a match. So, Vince wins. He kicks the football into Pat's ribs. He wins, and I think they were kicking around Pat McAfee some more. And this was funny. So, they raise each other's hands, and this is how you know Austin was coming out. I kind of figured Austin was coming out, but they played Austin Theory's music, and I guess Vince didn't know what it sounded like. So when Theory's music played, he got shocked. And then he realized, oh shit, it's Theory's music. So they played Theory's music, they raised their hands, and then the glass breaks and the crowd goes nuts. Stone Cold comes out, great pop, great. So he beats on Theory, he gives him a stunner, and Theory sold this stunner. He gets the stunner, and Theory, the hang time that Theory got, he went like a gives Austin he gives McMahon a beer. McMahon opens the beer, he goes to drink it, he already knows what's coming. So he's sipping it slow, and he's like, hold on, don't do nothing. He drinks the beer, he's like, oh, this is pretty good. So Vicks shots the beer, and Austin gives him a stunner. Austin kicked Vicks in the midsection for the stunner, and Vicks lost his balance. He went back into the ropes. He tried to come off the ropes. Austin had to grab him, pull him forward, and grab his neck for the stunner. And Vicks, he didn't take a bad bump for the stunner. Now my nose is starting to stuff up. So like I was saying, Vicks didn't take the stunner on his back. It looked like his knee buckled and he just went down awkwardly. Now remember I said when Vicks came out, watch out for that, or remember that? I was talking to Griddy after this part, and I said, when Vicks walked down the ramp, his left leg didn't look right. He looked good when he first came out, but when he got to the middle of the ramp, it didn't look good. So, and you could see when he was walking around the ring, like his knee wasn't bending. He was walking like I walk. He doesn't bend his knee. He was dragging his left leg a little bit. So when he took the kick to the midsection, his leg, he couldn't, stand, and he fell back. So I don't know what happened there, but Vicks has a history of taking the stunner awfully, but that was the worst stunner I've ever seen. So Vicks took the stunner, Austin grabbed some beer, he calls Pat McAfee into the ring. He drinks beer with Pat, they go up to the turnbuckle, they drink beer. Great moment. I'm excited for Pat McAfee. He got a win at WrestleMania, got a moment with Steve Austin. Great. And even greater, he took a stunner. He drank the last 2 beers and Stone Cold stunned him in the middle of the ring. Austin ran around the ring, well, in the ring, but he ran in a circle. He was having fun, Austin. And he was drinking more beer. So, as Austin was leaving up the ramp, they had this great shot of Pat McAfee outside the ring drinking beer. He was outside the ring on the floor and he was drinking from the side. It was a great shot, great segment. It was great. great. And lastly, we have the main event, the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. Title for title, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. This was what it had to be. It didn't go wrong. If anything, the entrances, they stalled out the gag, but this went maybe 15 minutes, I think. Not even, maybe 10 minutes, but it was what it had to be. So, they come out, Paul Heyman does Roman's introduction, Brock Lesnar did his own introduction, and straight out the gate, Lesnar outpowers Roman. He throws him around, he gives him 3 suplexes, and it was great. He takes him outside, he throws Roman outside, and he looks to the side, Brock Lesnar, and you see Paul Heyman, and Heyman is great. He's like, I'm sorry, Brock, I love you, this was all Roman, I'm sorry, I love you. So Brock is going after Heyman, and Roman spears him into the barricade. Brock makes it back in for the 10 count, or before the 10 count. Roman gave him another spear for the 2. Brock kicks out. Roman hits 2 Superman punches. Brock gets up. He hits 3 suplexes, I think. Roman fights back. He goes for the Superman punch, but Brock reverses it, hits the F5 for the 2 count. So the ref is in the corner, and Brock is in front of the ref. Roman went to spear Brock, but as he's spearing him, he spears him into the ref. Come on, Nose, I'm almost done. If it's not my dog, it's my nose. If it's not that, it's my throat. I'm almost done. So, Roman spears Brock into the ref. Heyman gives him the belt. He hits Brock with the belt, shakes the ref, and the ref goes for the pin. Brock kicks out at 2. He picks Brock up and he runs to the rope. He runs to the other, and Brock, he botched this. He was supposed to turn around so Roman can hit the spear, but he never turned around. And Roman ended up spearing Brock in the back. This looked bad. So somebody fucked up here. But Roman speared Brock in the back. Roman went for a second spear. Brock put him in the Kimura, and just as Roman is about to tap out, you see Heyman stretch the rope into Roman's hand. So Heyman pushes the rope into Roman's hand. The ref breaks the Kimura. Roman's screaming, get his arm popped out. Brock picks him up. He goes for the F5. Roman gets off his back, throws Brock into the rope, and spears him for the 3. Your new undisputed champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. So Roman goes on the stage. He poses the expecting The Rock, but maybe he'll come tomorrow on Raw. This match was good. Like I said, it was short. It went how it was supposed to. Not long, hard-hitting. It was good. And all in all, like I said, I thought night 2 was fantastic. I enjoyed everything from top to bottom. We got, Vicks Mcmahon in a match. We got Stone Cold again, stunning Vicks McMahon, even though it was horrible. It was still a great moment. Pat McAfee had his moment. It was a great night. If you pair the 2 nights together, I'd say as a whole, this WrestleMania was pretty good. I think night 2 was fantastic. I enjoyed night 1 for the most part. So, altogether, it was pretty good. And if I had to pick what was my favorite match, AJ and Edge was good. Seth and Cody was good. Bianca and Becky was good. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Rollins and Cody for my favorite match out of both nights. I'll have to go with that. But I'm gonna end this off because my nose is all stuffy, my ears are bright red, the heat is blasting. I'm gonna end this. But let me know your thoughts on tonight, night 2 and night 1. What did you think as a whole? Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you liked the show, if you didn't. Let me know all that in the comments. But leave a like if you like the review. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on your post notifications so you know when I upload. Have a good day, guys. Peace.